how does chiropractic relate to the nervous system? Massively important question to understand, because the nervous system is what chiropractic works on and what the chiropractor is addressing when they're doing their chiropractic adjusting. The nervous system essentially controls every single cell inside the body. There are different cells for different functions in the body, and we have a total between an estimated count between 60 trillion and 100 trillion cells inside the body. There is not one of these cells that are exempt from being controlled by information from the brain. All of this information for these essential cells starts from the brain and streams through our spinal column. This is why chiropractic is so massively important for people's health. If there's interference along the pathway within the nervous system, that's going to impede or distort how well that information is going to be received by the cells. But not only are the cells receiving information, the cells are also sending information back to the brain. This is how the body maintains homeostasis. There's information that is sent from the brain to the cells and the cells to the brain. So we've got a loop that creates health for the body. When we have interference in that, it causes changes. We all understand that there's a specific frequency of electricity that passes through our walls that creates function for our computers, that allows our toaster to work at our house, our microwave, and our alarm clock. Our alarm clocks will be able to keep proper time because there's a specific frequency of electrical signals that are being sent along that pathway. If that changes, you get a lightning strike, then that jolt is going to cause an implosion with that electrical system, and it's going to cause shorting. That shorting is going to cause a change in that function and usually blow the system out. I always use the analogy, we've got electricity in the US and we've got electricity in Europe, and if we took our stereo system and we plugged it in Europe, it's not going to work right. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to blow up because they've got electricity, but it's a different frequency. When there's stressors through the spine, it changes how the nervous system is communicating and will usually amplify, and that's why eventually symptoms start to occur through the sensory nervous system. This occurs through increased irritation. The irritant through the nervous system increasing the electrical flow or amplifying that is increased sensitivity. Increased sensitivity, as that develops into greater and greater, more and more, what we have is the development of pain. On the other side, we've got the motor control. The motor control is the part of our nervous system that is responsible for movement. That's what's going to create our muscle movement. That's why we have these tension spots. And oh, I rub this. The areas of distortion and the tension will cause an increased amplitude of how those muscles are contracting. Hear it all the time. I think it's in my muscle. Well, muscles have no function independent on their own. It's an impossibility for a muscle just to act independently without the function of the brain telling the muscle what to do. So if the muscle is overactive, that's a change in how the nervous system is working. If globally with our body, the nervous system is responsible for creating balance. We can tangibly feel that with the sensory nervous system and the pain, and we can see it with the motor control and the muscle spasms. But it's important to understand that within the body, those 60 to 70 trillion cells, they accumulate into glands and organs. Those glands and organs then create the different systems. We have our elimination system, we have our endocrine system, we have our immune system, we have our cardiovascular system. And the different systems of the body are all being regulated and are all being balanced to create health inside the body. If we have changes in the amplitude of the nervous system into the glands and organs, that's going to change our chemical balance. The cluster of cells that accumulate into a gland or organ have responsibilities inside the body to release chemicals. There's about 1,200 different chemicals inside of our body that are being mixed and measured constantly and monitored by the brain in order to achieve health. That's why one of the most common things that people will note as they're getting adjusted, I feel better. That's the change in the chemical balance of the body. As the nervous system is allowed to produce the proper nerve impulses into the cell structure, then we're allowed to produce better chemical balance. And that's why people's immune system change. Oftentimes the elimination inside the body and different things like that. That's how that's re-regulated, because the nervous system is allowed to function and put at ease and back into balance.